welcome to Kankakee Podcast, where we talk about the people and places of Kankakee County. I'm Jake LaMore, and welcome to our series of episodes we do with the Kankakee Valley Theater Association, where we discuss one of their upcoming shows. And of course, hopefully you are listening to this before the weekend of March 16th, because that is when Finding Nemo Jr. is debuting at the Lincoln Cultural Center?
Correct.
Okay, I always get confused on Black Box, Lincoln Cultural Center.
We change it up, for sure.
You gotta change it up. But I'm pleased to welcome Courtney Stevens.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I already forgot your name, and I feel so bad.
Chloe.
Chloe and Colton.
Holden Hall.
Holden. My gosh.
She has a brother named Colton.
I have a brother named
Okay. But anyway, welcome, guys. So the Finding Nemo Jr. is going to be hitting the stage March 16th. There's also a show on March 17th, Lincoln Cultural Center. And we're just here to talk about the nuts and the bolts of the show. So,
excellent.
Courtney, you have many different facets at KVTA. One of them is you are the president of the board. And then you also are a director here and there. But then when you're not a director, I imagine on the other shows, it's like, oh, you might be backstage, or maybe you got to run lights, or usually people see your face. It's either the beginning of shows or during the shows you come up on stage usually. And talk about split the pot or
what's coming next, what we're doing. Yeah, we have following Nemo. We have Susical, April 20th, 21st. 27th and 28th. For that, I'll be doing sound. So yeah, we stay busy. We're very excited. We've got this season's just wrapping up. We've got some stuff planned this summer. We've got all of next season already planned. So there's no stopping us. No, there's not.
And you know, this season is extra special, I think, just because you do have Susical, where you've got such a wide range of ages. But even the YPT shows are a vast array of ages too. Sometimes you have cast members as young as 3, right? Or
6.
6.
6 is our youngest. 17 is our oldest. Yeah.
So that's a big.
Yeah, it's a huge gap.
It's a big range there. So Finding Nemo. I guess getting into it, what is Finding Nemo about for those that don't know? Because I'm not going to assume that everyone knows about Finding Nemo.
Sure.
I mean, I would hope they would, but just in case they don't.
Sure. So 2003, the movie came out, and that was Disney and Pixar made the movie Finding Nemo. Then they translated it into a stage show at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So there's about a 30 to 45 minute stage show that you can see there with all original music, which they then took to make this production that you're going to see here at LCC. It follows the story of Nemo and Marlin. They're clownfish. They are kind of on their own. Unfortunately, mom has passed away, so dad's raising the little one, right? Trying to do his best. And Nemo kind of has his own ideas, wants to do his own thing, get out there, experience life. So Nemo is dead set on, I'm going to go explore, and unfortunately gets snatched up and put in a tank. So he's caught out in the ocean, translated into obviously a saltwater aquarium. And then in the tank, he meets different characters, all while Marlin is going along on his journey, trying to get back to his son. He is searching the whole ocean, looking for his kid. He stumbles upon Dory. Dory helps him in his search and his quest, whether she's going the right way or not, but they get
Chloe,
there.
Are you Dory?
I am,
okay. I was wondering, like, she kind of pointed, and I was like, is she referencing that you are Dory? Oh, my. Okay.
Yep. And then along their journey, they meet Bruce, which is played by Holden.
Oh, nice. You're Bruce.
The shark. Yep.
Nice.
So they run into some sharks. Then they run into some turtles, some really far out, totally tubular turtles.
Those are some of my favorite.
Yeah, right. There's
Yeah.
such good characters in the show, and the music is even better. Everybody has kind of their own shining moment, I feel like.
That's right. I didn't even think about, because if you watch the movie, there's no music.
Yeah.
Well, obviously there's the underscore, but there's no characters aren't singing.
Right. It's not like other Disney shows.
But
yeah.
there's songs in this.
Yep.
that
All
the cast
original
sings.
music.
Okay.
It's the same writers from Frozen. So the husband and wife team, they teamed up again and made this show and made the music for this.
So you're telling me I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna have song stuck in my head
100%.
for the rest of time.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
how often do we sing Let It Go?
Right.
Whether we want it to be in our head or not, it is there.
Yep. It's just stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Forever and ever for the rest of time.
There is such good music in the show. Really catchy tunes, really fun, energetic, upbeat. Like the whole show, it's not even an hour. We're trying our best to make it at least an hour. Give the audience a show well worth what they're paying. But it's a great production. We're not closing the curtains at all. We're just moving and grooving the whole time.
Well, and that way, people can bring their little ones.
Yep.
They can enjoy
very
the show
engaging.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Seeing Moana last year, the choreography was spectacular.
Right.
Made it very, I feel like, engaging as well. And I would expect the same thing from Finding Nemo Jr.
Yeah.
So.
We're delving into some new areas too. So we have rented professionally made puppets. They are in Illinois. They got to Illinois today. So we're just waiting for them to get to LCC so we can start working with them. But they have some of them have movable mouths and eyes, and they just embody the character and enhance.
So you guys are in puppet costumes then?
No.
Where are the puppets?
They're separate puppets.
Yeah. Okay.
So
but are you controlling them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's going to be a whole adventure. We are excited for the challenge. These guys are just ready to have them here and get them in their hands, as are all of us. But
right. You got to start practicing.
Yeah. It's something totally new for KVT, but it's so cool. And we are thrilled for the audience to come see this.
Okay. Wow. So let's get into, since I'm excited that we actually have some cast members here. Of course, having you here, Courtney, has been something I've been waiting for.
They're the icing on the cake.
They are the icing on the cake. So Chloe, finding your inner Dory, are you naturally a Dory type person, or was it something you really had to focus in on?
I would. Sometimes. I'm very forgetful sometimes. So it wasn't hard to really dive into Dory. But I've also had a very close connection with Dory, like growing up, just because my grandma loved her. So I've basically like really grown up with Dory. So like playing this character, obviously, it's very close to my heart and very personal. And I'm taking it very personal and very close to my heart as well.
So that really helps. You can just kind of think of your grandma.
Yeah.
And then you're able to totally act out that Dory.
Yeah.
Almost for your grandma, because you're just thinking about how much she loved that character.
She named her car Dory. She had a Dory ornament.
I feel like so many people did and still do since, the movie came out in 2003. Dory was just the big.
She's iconic.
She is.
She really is.
Very fun.
What is that? What is your favorite part about playing Dory?
I just love like the freedom that I get with playing Dory. Like I can really do anything that I want because it's kind of supposed to be funny. So it's like I can really put like my creative liberties into it while I was taking like Courtney's suggestions and like putting them together. And it was really fun to kind of figure out how I wanted to play Dory and how I wanted her to come across on stage.
How old were you? I'm assuming you've seen the movie, obviously, but how old were you when you saw it? And was it an instant thing or like, oh, I love this movie?
I would say, I don't know how old I was, but I do remember that I loved the movie growing up just because I always watched it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was an instant click for me with the movie.
Yeah.
The movie came out before they were born.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah.
Isn't that wild to think about? How old are we, Jake?
I was 13 when this movie came out. So,
that's crazy.
Okay, I have to share a funny story, and this is no discredit to what KVTA is doing with this show. And I do love Finding Nemo, but the first time I watched the movie, I fell asleep in the middle of the movie. I think it was the part where Nemo was just it wasn't Nemo. It was
Marlin.
Marlin was completely just on his own. He had lost Dory.
Yeah.
And it seemed to just drag on forever. And I fell asleep.
Yeah, sure. They cut that out of this one. Don't worry about that.
Right. But I do love the movie. It's just that first time. That's funny. That's what happened. Holden, you have also a fun role of playing Bruce. And if I remember correctly, Bruce, he does end up trying to eat.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So you get to have that kind of almost sinister fun a little bit, right? Instead of, Dory's kind of a ditzy, happy-go-lucky character, and you're just kind of like, ooh, there's a fish. Maybe I'll help him. And then, Anyway, so what has your journey been like practicing Bruce or playing Bruce?
Well, it's very different from any other role that I've ever played, which is a lot of fun, especially for what's probably my last show with KVTA Jr.
Okay.
Since we're aging out of it this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such a fun role because I just get to embody the character, and it's a lot of very sinister movements, like you said. But you start out, you meet him, and he's nice. You know what I mean? He doesn't, as scary as he may seem, he's nice until he smells the blood and he just goes crazy. And it's so much fun to be able to just chase people around the scene, and just yelling, and it's a ton of fun.
So is there more of Bruce in the show than there is in the movie? I imagine.
Not really. It's still
about
such
the
a
same.
short scene.
Okay.
Like,
but
we wish there was more, because he definitely
Yeah.
channels his inner Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
You're going to be real
Okay.
impressed.
All right.
Yes.
I love that concept. Was that something you came up with, or did you kind of like act like Jack Nicholson? I want you to study him.
We definitely had a conversation about The Shining, whether he's seen it or not, but he got the memo and he's perfected it. So he came out, he's been great from the beginning, and we're just enhancing what he's already given us at this point.
And I'll ask you the same, Chloe, and I completely forgot. I would love to hear, Holden, more of your backstory of being involved with KVTA. What number show is this for you? I'm assuming you've done this more than once for young people's theater.
I warned them that this was going to come up, so they've been thinking all morning.
So I've been doing this since 2017. I think I was 10 then. So my first show was Madagascar Jr. back in 2017. This is my 9th show with KVTA. Probably one of my favorites. But yeah, I've been doing this for most of my life now, and it's just such a blast. I love KVTA, and it's such a good journey for me to go on, you know what I mean, as a person. So as I grow, I become a better singer. My stage presence becomes, I feel more comfortable talking in public, talking in front of large groups of people, and I have KVTA to thank for that.
So kind of like Chloe, what is when you think of Finding Nemo, what are some things that first come up in your mind? What are your first memories attached to Finding Nemo? Is there anything similar to Chloe?
I can't even remember like I said, I was born after the movie came out.
Obviously.
So I don't know when the first time I saw it was.
But still, just like your first experience being exposed to it.
Yeah, I remember I loved it. And I think the first time I ever saw it was at the Harvest Moon Drive-In.
Oh, gosh, I love that
nice.
place.
I love that place.
Name drop.
So, it was a special experience, and even Finding Dory, the sequel that came out, I remember loving that. And
Finding Dory is awesome.
Mhm.
I love it.
I will venture to say Finding Dory is almost better than Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But because Dory's
It's
awesome.
hilarious. Yeah.
Dory's amazing. Love
Why Bruce, Holden?
Yeah, why Bruce? That's a good question.
I don't want to say too much about the show, but I'd like to brag a little bit and say that I think the Sharks have the best song in the entire show.
Okay.
It's so much fun. It's
not because you're a shark yourself. 'Cause I don't want to paint, I don't want to have people start avoiding you because they're like, oh, he played that Bruce shark in Finding Nemo, and you cannot trust that shark because he tried to eat mine.
Yeah, he is so night and day from his character. Like what you see here, Holden and Chloe, this is them. They're such good kids. We love them, and they turn into completely. Chloe, not so much, but Holden becomes a different person for sure when he's Bruce.
So you're saying Chloe is Dory?
Chloe is Dory, 100%.
That's like a great thing, and then at the same time you're like, oh, right?
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, for you, Chloe, what has your history been like with Young People's Theater?
I've been involved with KVTA since I was 8 years old. I was in Ramona Quimby in 2014. And ever since then, I've just kept going with every single show. I think I'm over 10 now. I don't know the exact
She can't
number.
even count.
I can't.
Yeah.
I don't remember like half the shows.
I imagine you
but-
get to that point
Yeah.
where you just don't remember.
Yeah.
You know, I never got to that point, so.
Yeah.
There's still time, Jake.
I know, I
we
just
keep
don't-
trying to get you back.
I know, and I appreciate that. I just the time and opportunity has not been on my side.
Sure. Fair enough.
But I appreciate that. So what are some other things that come up in question as this the rehearsals have been coming into play, and just questions that people are asking you that you like to answer and get
Sure.
out there?
So as Holden mentioned, he feels like his song is probably the best in the show. Well, the Turtles also feel that their song is the best, as I'm sure Dory thinks her song is the best. So there's a lot of heated debate about, who has the best number here. Like the Tank
lot of
Gang. Yeah,
competition.
lots of competition. We have 36 cast members. They're all
Oh, wow.
equally talented. And we are so proud of all of them. So we started rehearsals in January. And we moved over to LCC about a week and a half ago. So now we're just waiting for these puppets to get here. They should be here just within a couple of days, and we'll rehearse with them for about 7, 8 days before we've got a live audience. And then that's that.
Then it's showtime.
Yeah.
Then it's showtime.
Yep.
I'm curious to know, with both of you being seasoned in YPT, at this point, I feel like you must have some rituals that you both of you do before you go on stage at this point, just because you've worked with so many different directors, you've worked with so many different cast members, and you kind of pick up things along the way, and you're like, oh, I never thought about doing that before, or so I'm curious to know. Whoever wants to go first is fine.
Well, one of my favorite things, and it's not just us, it's a whole YPT thing, is we do circle time before our shows, which I think is probably my favorite tradition we do, where everyone gets together and we just hype each other up. You know what I mean? It's such a great experience because everyone is there just to be like, we're going to get this done. It's going to be so great. And it's just a great experience for everyone in the cast because they get to feel like they're part of the family, which they are. Everyone in our show is part of the family. But yeah, that's probably my favorite tradition we do.
Okay. How about you, Chloe?
I'm gonna agree with that. And also we do like this like hand squeeze game.
Mhm.
Like I don't know what
Pass
it is
the
about.
squeeze.
Yeah, pass the squeeze. But I don't know. It helps me like not be so tense going
Mhm.
onto stage.
Okay.
So that really helps. And like I just love how positive everybody is before the show. That it's like everyone's just kind of saying like you're gonna do great, you're gonna do fine, like stop stressing. So it's just really nice to have a really positive cast to really lift you up when you're feeling down or nervous or anything like that. So
So how does that work? Is like everyone like holding hands and you're just squeezing?
Yeah. So
or is it like
Passing a hug. So like
okay?
kind of telephone. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to squeeze your hand, squeeze the next person, and then it like goes around the
So
circle.
it's kind of like the wave. like when
Yeah.
you go to
you
Yeah.
gotta follow the squeeze.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's fun to like, you can see where it's going
Mhm.
around the circle. Like, oh, it's over there
Mhm.
now. Like, oh yeah, you've got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of to connect everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, not to discredit you, Courtney, but I feel like we haven't talked enough about your backstory. We just kind of talked about what you currently do.
Yeah. It's
at
not about
KVT,
me.
but
Come on.
I know it's not, but since you're here, I mean, what has your involvement been with KVT? When did you first get started?
Oof.
All that stuff.
So let's see. My first show was Pinocchio in 1995.
Oh man.
So we're throwing it back.
I got no strings to hold me.
Yep.
Or whatever.
You're right. Yeah. So that was my first show, but my love of theater came from my sister. So who is my assistant director, Gina O'Connor.
How perfect.
Yeah. So I love having her around. I love like learning from her, and we work really well as a team. So it's been fun creating this with her by my side, as well as Carrie Chaparro, who's our vocal director, and Case Kerner is our choreographer. So it's been a nice solid team to get that going. But so my sister did theater at KVTA, at BBCHS. So I watched her growing up. I would just sit at rehearsals, take it all in, and I kind of fell in love. And then she ended up having children, and we're far enough apart in age that I'm really close in age with my nieces and nephews. So being able to be backstage and watch them perform and help on their productions, that kind of kept me involved in KVT through all the years. And then I've been on the board of directors since 2015. So heavily involved and invested at this point. We both met my sister and I, we both met our husbands through KVT.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's a whole family affair.
Serious. You are intertwined.
Yep.
It's like blood in, blood out. You're never leaving. You're stuck.
For sure. Yeah, it's part of the DNA at this point. And whether my husband appreciates or doesn't appreciate it, he is a part of this. He gets voluntold to do a lot of things. So he's helping us with projections. We're renting a professional projector for this production.
Oh, wow.
We're not doing set pieces. It's all digital.
Tyler McMahon, he was the KVT episode previous to this one talking about Edwin Drood.
Yep.
And he got into talking about projections and things like that. And I guess I've never really thought about that being, an option versus, this day and age, kind of the technology advancing, the way it has.
Yeah, so they're all animated. We have some pre-show projections that are happening. They're being created by Stephen Menard, who's a local resident that he's now in his master's at Florida. So I can't think of the university right now, but he's getting his master's degree. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
So we are just diving into that for sure. And it just helps bring us into the ocean. I think it is really going to immerse the audience and make it feel like an ocean.
Yeah.
Right. So that's my whole goal. I've seen the stage show at Animal Kingdom a number of times.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're a Disney.
I am. I'm an addict. We'll just put it out there.
How about Chloe and Holden? Are either of you like super Disney nerds, or are you just kind of like, I dabble, but I'm not,
I was at Disney this summer. That was a ton of fun.
Oh, nice. What's your favorite attraction? I've still never been to, I assume you're talking about Disney World, right? Most people don't talk about Disneyland. That's the one I went to. Yeah. That's the only one I've been to. I've never been to Disney World, but I've been to Disneyland.
You got to go to Disney World.
It hasn't happened yet.
All right. We'll work on it.
Yeah, but what's your favorite thing?
I went on the new Avatar Flights of Pandora from the new land at Animal Kingdom. And I don't know if it's my favorite, but that was amazing. That was such a great ride. It's one of the moving ones where you have like 3D glasses and you feel like you're moving and they blow wind on you. It's so immersive.
So that's like a 4D, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The whole
4D experience.
Yeah.
Went to something like that at the aquarium one time. That was cool.
Sure.
And how about you, Chloe? You ever been?
I have, but I don't remember half the rides that I went on.
It was probably a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. But
I was 6, I think, when I went to Disneyland.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I just I remember a few things, but there's a lot I don't remember. So, I hear you on that one.
Still love Disney, though.
I love Disney.
You have to say that because this is a Disney Pixar production. So I want to know, unfortunately, we can't fit the entire cast in this room, and they're not even all, unfortunately, available. But since we at least have Holden and Chloe here and Courtney, I would like to know, who is your favorite cast? Do you have a favorite cast member or someone you really want to, and I know you don't want to necessarily say, of course, the whole cast is doing a great job, but maybe there's someone in particular that you just really hit it off with quickly, or someone that, maybe they were really struggling in the beginning and they've really just risen to the occasion and you want to make sure that they get the kudos they deserve.
Well, I think she'll probably have the same answer as me, but our good friend and the lead of the show, Kyron, he plays Marlin in the show, and he is just fantastic. I mean, he has so much life. He brings so much energy to the role. He's like one of the best actors I've ever worked with, and he's fantastic. So if nothing else, come for him because he is amazing.
So you say that almost like he's a comical person.
Oh, listen. When you come to see, he is hilarious. Like,
but as Marlin's not very. I mean, he's got some dry humor,
Sure.
I guess.
he
But
brings his own light to the stage with what
Okay.
he's given.
his own twist,
Yeah.
of course.
He
All right.
leaves us all cracking
He-
up by the end of the night for sure.
I'll be on stage and forget I'm even talking to Marlin, and it'll just be Kyron. Like
He like finds himself. So Marlin the fish is what we've interpreted Marlin to be. Like Marlin the fish finds himself funny. Dory finds him funny. Nobody else finds him funny. And Kyron embodies that so well. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember if it's in Finding Nemo or Finding Dory. There's a character that talks about, you're not very funny for a clownfish
That's
or something
this
like
one.
that.
Yeah.
It is this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always
Yeah.
thought that was, that was funny. So is he your choice? then, too?
he's one of my best friends.
Okay.
I go to school with him, so I've known him since he's a sophomore, and I'm a
Okay.
junior, so I've known him since last year when he came into school, and he's just so crazy talented for his age, and he's so mature for his age, and he's just hilarious. And like our scenes, like I'm so like connected to him that it feels easy to be on stage with him. And like there's some times where he'll trip me, for example, and we'll just keep laughing. Like we can't stop, which
Yeah.
we shouldn't do in the show, but
Oh my
it's
God.
If it happens,
some
it
things-
happens. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's so funny.
That's great. How about you, Courtney? I mean, I know you're the director, so I feel like you really can't pick favorites because
Right.
you're not supposed to, right? But
I would brag on all of them all day long.
Yeah.
Like just hearing these guys talk about their castmates, so uplifting and positive. Like, man, I'm so impressed by these guys. I love them. They make it all worthwhile, right? All the long hours, all the nights, all the planning. Man, it's so cool to see them come into their characters and be able to show off for the audience. That's really what makes me excited about this. And I'll brag on Kinley a little bit. So Kinley Collins, she is our Nemo. She is, when we did our auditions, knowing that we were getting these puppets and knowing they were going to weigh so much, like they're anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds.
Oh, so these things are decent size.
They're made
Okay.
by
They're
some of the
good.
creators from the Muppet Puppets.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So
So we're talking Jim Henson's.
yeah.
Okay.
And not necessarily like animators that were with them have created these. So they came from Louisiana. They're shipping up here from Louisiana on a freight truck. It's like a 400-pound crate. This is
Wow.
not a small ordeal by any
Okay.
means. So Kinley, going in, even at auditions, we had them holding weights just to see if they could support the weight of this puppet
Wow.
to know if they could portray the character and be the
It's like,
character along with.
is this a warehouse job? I'm
Right,
auditioning for,
right.
or
What
is
are we?
this
What
a-
have I gotten myself into?
Is this a
Yeah.
musical? What
Right.
is this?
So Kinley, it was. She is smaller in stature, so that was very hard for me to like. No, it's gonna be okay. She's gonna do it. It's gonna be great. But from the moment we cast, her parents bought her weighted bars to use at home, to use at practice. So she walks around with a 10-pound weighted bar every night
Wow.
and
Mhm.
doesn't stop, doesn't miss a beat. She's incredible. So I am so super proud of all that she's putting into it and getting comfortable, getting into the character, doing all the dancing, all the music, all the lines. That's just one small piece. And so with these guys putting all their effort into their characters, it just brings everybody up a whole nother level. So they're all heavily invested in their characters at this point, and there's not a weak point in the show. They're all so good.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, this makes me even more excited to go
See?
see it.
Woo!
And
Mission
everyone,
accomplished, guys. Good job.
kvta.org to get your tickets for Finding Nemo Jr. Again, that's March 16th and 17th at the Lincoln Cultural Center. And I would, and I don't say this, and I'm not making this up. Usually these sell out.
Mhm.
These shows sell out because
Yeah.
you think about it. You think about all the different families
Yep.
that are going to
Yep.
see this. Tickets go pretty quickly. So.
Yeah, $15 every ticket. There's
Yeah.
2 shows on Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Saturday the 16th, 2 p.m. on Sunday the 17th. You can choose your own seats online. There are seats all over LCC, so you can pick your own seat, pick whatever seat you want. If you want to be in the top, go for it. Like you've sat up there.
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love sitting up there. Honestly, every seat is a good seat.
Yeah,
in
for
my
sure.
opinion. But you're talking to someone who's a sucker for old theaters. So,
We love it. Yeah. We are just thrilled. It's hard to believe that it's almost here, but we hope the community will show up and support these kids and keep the theater alive, keep the arts alive in our community. COVID definitely impacted theater as a whole. So we're still coming back from that. And our YPT shows, they definitely help sustain KVTA a lot. And a fun fact, this is our 60th year of KVTA. KVTA started in 1963.
Happy anniversary.
So this is, our 60th season. We are thrilled. Yeah. So
thank you, Brian.
It's so cool that we've been able to do this for so long. And I hope there's another 60 years after this. This summer, we're doing a special production of The Hello Girls, which is a true story from World War I telephone operators. So that's going to be incredible. We're bringing Pat Tomasulo to town May 18th. So he's from the WGN Morning News. He does a whole comedy routine. It's not appropriate for children. We'll just put that out there.
You don't say.
Yeah. But he's a funny guy. So those tickets are available. And we we're rocking and rolling. We're always got something going on. But highly recommend Finding Nemo. Highly recommend Susical. And come join KVTA for all the fun.
Yes.
We also want to shout out to our friends at Sweet Street. They're creating some candy bouquets for us to pre-order for the cast so they can tell their fam to get those for them. And then Legally Blonde this summer from Acting Out. There's no shortage. Kankakee High School is doing Lion King Jr.
Oh, wow.
No shortage of awesome theater happening.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that. I appreciate it. Well, Holden and Chloe, too. I mean, both of you. Holden, are both of you like, this is the last YPT? Right, for you because of your age?
Yep, we're aging out this year.
So I assume that means you must be excited to audition for the adult shows, right?
Very.
So, I mean, congrats on, so many shows under your belt, Young People's Theater, and man, welcome to, I guess, what some call the big leagues, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at least in our neck of the woods, I always kind of looked at it in that respect.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
And good luck. I look forward to hopefully seeing you in more shows.
Yes.
So,
they'll be back. We won't let them get away that easy.
Yeah, please come back.
I forgot one friend to mention.
Okay, please.
BBCHS. They're doing Grease this weekend, Sweeney Todd. So
Wait, Grease and Sweeney Todd?
They're doing a Grease concert that's happening this weekend, but then Sweeney Todd is their spring production.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah.
That's a dark one.
It's good. It's good music.
Good
I got to see it in New York this summer with Josh Groban.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah, it was awesome.
That would have been good.
Yep. Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, Courtney, Chloe, Holden, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. And break a leg.
Yeah, we'll see you at the theater.
Thank you.
Yes, I will be there. I will be there. That concludes this episode of Kankakee Podcast. I'm Jake LaMore. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Kankakee Podcast. Shout out to Teague Dreenan for supporting the show each month through Patreon. If you want your name announced on a future episode, you can sign up at patreon.com/Kankakee Podcast. Special thanks to our sponsors, Chicago Dough Company, Noble Dairy Queen Stores, Frank's Appliance Center and Sleep Source, King Music, Little Me Studio, D. Westfall Jewelers, and Edward Jones Financial Advisor Adam Elroy. Kankakee Podcast is produced by the fine team at Pathfinder, a full-service marketing agency in downtown Kankakee. You can learn more at yourpathfinder.io. Our theme song is by Lupe Carroll.